Pyke. I'm the creative director of the Pipeline, which is a training hub based at Media City. My background is TV production, and I used to run 2 independent production companies several years ago, mostly making entertainment shows and documentary. But I've got an absolute passion for training. So when the opportunity came, instead of me working on my own media training, the university were keen to set up this unit. Obviously, I jumped at the opportunity to run it, and so far so good. Only really been running about 3 to 6 months, and already managed to get a raft of Screenskills bits and also summer schools as well. So it's gone really well for us so far. Production coordinators step up to production management in high-end TV. Now, we're really excited about doing that one because we see the value, complete value, and the difficulty really of that hike from being a production coordinator to getting to be a production manager, because it's such a responsible job and there's so many facets and so many plates that need to be spun. It's 10 days online training with a production executive. We're working at the moment with Red Productions, who are literally just based across the road from us, where we're based at Media City. So that's really exciting. It's an intensive 10 days, and the production coordinators who have some experience will nevertheless be taken through that 10 days from the perspective of the PM, from budgeting to scheduling as you'd expect and everything in between. One of the other things that Skillset is really keen to push, though, are what people call those so-called soft skills, leadership and management. So one of the modules, we've got 5 modules over 10 days, is going to look at leadership and management skills, so that can really upskill the production coordinators to learn how to delegate and negotiate and so on. So the first stage of the training in November and December is 10 days online training. And then 18 of the 20 participants will move forward into paid placements next year with 18 high-end production companies across the nations and regions. You know, we're looking to take these production coordinators as far as we can. So we're in negotiation with Northern Ireland, Scotland and Wales. Just because we're based in Media City, we really want the reach to be as far as it can be. And obviously the Northwest region as well. So that's exciting. We also offer mentoring. So we don't just put a coordinator into a high-end company and leave them there. We will be doing a call to them every week, picking up, you know, just on how they're doing, making sure that they're enjoying what they're doing, but also if they've got any concerns, then we will be there on the other end of the line, making sure that we can support them, both in practical purposes, because we understand, you know, the role of the production manager, but also just if they're needing some advice and guidance as they're going through the placement. What we do, which we think is quite unique at the Pipeline, and again, it comes from, we've got a lot of background in delivering courses as tutors, but also training. So we're fusing that expertise within the Pipeline with the knowledge we've got of developing modules and running those. The production coordinators can be freelance, so they can be part of the community, they can be in work or out of work. They could also be a production coordinator that's working at this moment for a production company. And we're hoping that the paid part of the placement will secure that place for them, even within the company, but also the company can use that income they're getting over that 10 weeks to maybe bring somebody else in to fill that place while the production coordinator's learning with the production manager. So we would love to put the call out to those people who might be sitting there thinking, not quite, you know, I've been out of the industry for a while, but they've got the gravitas of that management, that ability to negotiate and delegate. It's that ability to command that team and have that gravitas, and I think they're the types of people that would like to get on the, you know, on the course. We are absolutely 100% inclusive and diversity focused here. So our main criteria, obviously, people from the BAME community, LGBT plus, people with disability, and socioeconomic. So we'd really like to pull in those people who perhaps don't feel that this is the type of job for them, or have been out of the industry for a while. because I'm a producer and I used to have production managers that I worked with, and they always used to scare me in the nicest way. You almost think good cop, bad cop, which is very unfair. But I have immense respect for production managers in the way that they juggle so many aspects of the role, and they're responsive minute by minute to changes that happen. They have also, they have a care and a duty of care to staff, but they also can run that budget and that production with a rod of iron. And that's great. So the actual personal skills range from, like I said, duty of care and obviously being very caring about staff, but also being incredibly good at delegating, in brilliant at negotiating, and actually, taking the creative side on when they need to sometimes. So when the producers and directors, as we often do, get very carried away, what we do, that's as you want to get the best programs. It's often, it is the production manager who will, stop that happening. So they have plates spinning constantly, but are the go-to person, and I think often they're very unrecognised within the team for how they get those programs in on time and on budget. And I think, sometimes I do feel that they should get more recognition. It's often the creative team, isn't it, that gets the BAFTAs and the awards, whereas the person really running the ship, I think the hub, is the production manager. It's a fantastic job. It's a desk-based job, I think, but I think it's for somebody who really just wants to know every aspect of the production and run it absolutely like a tight ship. Then do this at the end of the production and go, job done. I don't think there's been as much training, certainly post-pandemic, that's not helped matters at all. But prior to that, I think that it goes back to the fact that if I keep using the ladder as a guide, it isn't one rung from PC up to PM, it's several. And I feel there almost should be stages of training. There should almost be a senior production coordinator's role, which I don't think has ever happened, or junior production manager. But when you think about the work that has to take place within the production and how responsive the team have to be, it's very difficult to have that career, that ladder, with those extra roles in there. And I think that's where the gap's been. And I think, again, because it's production management, that's the key word for me in that role. And that's sometimes what the production coordinators don't have. It's very difficult to get that skill set overnight. And I think that, and also because it's transient as well, isn't it? Production coordinators, and it goes back to budgets, production coordinators are likely to be hired to come on that program for the length of, and probably leave way before it ends anyway. So they're not really understanding the full production process and then going on to another role that's probably equal to what they've just done. So the step up, this is why this is a great program, and we're really excited. Hopefully it'll work for the delegates or participants, because there's time for them to sit back, make some mistakes, and really learn what the management aspect of production management means. It is 18 plus, and we are asking for a fee of £50, which we'd like to think is fair for the whole of the programme, which includes the 10 days online training, and then going on to the 10 weeks paid placement. The placements are £600 a week, which again, I think is a fair price, and something we wanted to pay for the production coordinators on this placement. And I think, again, that's a fair fee. Deadlines close on November the 5th. And then we will be contacting those applicants who've been shortlisted or will be brought onto the programme. It probably isn't catered for those who haven't done it before. We're really not looking for new entrants. And the Screenskills category of early experienced are really the ones we're probably looking at, because we're hitting the ground running with this training. So we can get them through that 10 days and get them up to a certain level to get into that placement so it's meaningful. The application itself really should take about 10 to 15 minutes. There's a lot of questions. We do want to know some input from them, from any potential delegate or participant, why they want to come on the course. That's very important. And we've not really set a word, like we don't want a dissertation, but we'd like at least for them to think about why they want to come on the course.
Attention please, attention please. We have an emergency within the building. Please leave by the nearest available exit.
Is it real? Might be real.
Oh, God.